me about how your job has changed in the past couple of years since you guys have been moving to the information centers.
Yeah, February of last year, they offered me the new position that moved me from just being the photo editor, which is the traditional model. You give out the assignments, you make sure the photos get turned in, you work with the copy desk. And then from that point on, I got involved with the web. And what that meant was we launched MyDesert.com, and so I took on a second department with the online group, and then we worked with corporate very closely to launch the new website. So we had a lot of new initiatives. It was balancing two departments, like how do we handle the daily and work on this new, online thing.
Okay, and what's your background or your experience? Job experience. Was this something that you had trained in, or was it something you kind of had to learn?
There is definitely more technical items that I had to learn. A lot of what I do is macro management, so it's not like I'm going in and programming a page, though I'm starting to practice how to do that today. But prior to this, it's just making sure that we hit our goals. We have dates, that we give real assessments of when we can get projects done. How do we integrate the newsroom? I do a lot of that with the community and within our own newsroom, how to train people, how to get them to accept some of the new roles, dispelling some of the myths of how hard some of these things might be, because I think when you roll out things into the newsroom, the immediate reaction is, oh my God, it's crazy. I don't even know how I'm going to do this. And if you can make it acceptable, digestible, and you show them that, hey, this isn't so bad, then suddenly people start doing it, and then you get other people going, hey, I saw you did do this, and they try it, and they go, hey, I can do that too. And it turns out to be something where everyone benefits out of it, because the readers get something they never got before. The people who work here are now learning new skills, and it all works together. It's not just one item where you just go, here, learn to do this, and it's going to make the whole newspaper better.
So when you were approached to kind of take on the new tasks, were you excited about it, or were you kind of unsure yourself? For me,
it's an extension of what I was already doing in the newsroom, because I had been teaching people how to take some pictures, we were already hybridizing some of our staff. The reporters weren't just doing reporting. We'd given them point and shoots, and they were doing photos. Then we had some wildfires, and they at first laughed at videos that they took with the point and shoots. They laughed until their videos ended up on CNN and ABC, and suddenly it was like, hey, I guess this is okay to do. Okay. So that was exciting.
And you said you kind of train people or kind of help people adjust to their new roles. Have people been pretty open to the changes, and what have been some of the biggest challenges in the training?
I think the hardest part is the initial shock. Like, what does this mean? It's natural. If you take the time to sit down and bring people together and walk them through the task, if you can do it, and you can show them how to do it, and show them that it's not going to take away from a lot from what it is. I mean, let's be honest. It is a new task, but if it's not going to monopolize your time, and your users and your readers appreciate it, it adds depth to your reporting. And that's when there's more buy-in, because they do something and they go, hey, the readers really enjoy this. I'm getting feedback on this. Once that happens, then there's more buy-in and they do it more often. If it's just a task that you hand them a sheet of paper and say, do this, you're going to get a lot less acceptance. You've got to be there in the beginning to kind of help them through it.
And how do you assess which projects are working or not working, and how do you kind of move forward with those, either stopping them or kind of tweaking them to work?
I think that some of it is just metrics. When you go into your web measuring tools, you can take a look and see, is anyone actually reading this additional thing? If you're finding out that 15 people are looking at something that takes you 8 hours to produce, that's not going to be the best use of your time. And sometimes you just have to do it to try it. I've been, every once in a while you test something and say, okay, this takes me about an hour to do. Let's see how many people are interested in this. Let's take, if it's 2 or 3 hours to do, let's try it and see what happens. And then go back and follow up. Sometimes you need to do it a couple times, as long as it's not like you're taking a month to find out, hey, nobody likes this.